everybody. Well, it's the last day of Mercury Retrograde and we're going direct. So, as a reminder to everybody who does know about Mercury Retrograde, when we start going direct, it's like waking up from a deep sleep. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong part of the camera. There you are. I'm used to looking at myself there and on the side. Anyways, when you have Mercury going direct, it's like waking up from a deep nap that you've been in for a few weeks and you feel super groggy. So you're gonna feel like this energy coming back to you, but it's also gonna feel like you're waking up and things are still kind of slowly picking up again. There might still be a few snafus here and there, misunderstandings, or finding yourself in frustrating situations, and it's all a way for you to be able to assess within yourself what karma or what life lessons or things about your personality that you still have been wanting to overcome, and how you want to grow. And so these lessons will come into our life, especially during Mercury retrograde and even during direct, to test us, so you can kind of show you where you're at in your growth process. I think Squiggles wants to go, but here's Squiggles. Oh, he's just drooling all over me. It's funny. He hasn't drooled for like, I don't know, a year now. And he used to be this huge drooler. And all of a sudden, during Mercury retrograde, he started drooling again. Maybe it affects cats too. I don't know. Anyways, so one of the things during my last day of Mercury retrograde, I found myself, oh sorry, I'm not sponsored by these people. I'll turn this around. Drinking a drink. It's one of those ginger beers. Let me see if I can show it. Hopefully I'm allowed to show this stuff. I don't know. So it's one of those Reed's ginger beers, but it's an alcoholic one. But I didn't see that it said 0 sugar, so they put stevia in it or something, and it just, I had to do it up real nice, and it's still kind of like, it's not my favorite. So I put, as a suggestion of a dear friend of mine, to put mint leaves in it to try and combat the flavor, and luckily my mint has started growing again. Davey grew some mint for me for Mother's Day last year. His dad and had Davey make a little planter with some herbs in it that spelled out M-O-M for mom. That's me! And mint was one of the M's. It was very sweet, and I still have it, and I need to transplant all of them because they grew very nicely, and but now they're overcrowded in their little starter planter box they were in. So anyways, there's mint, fresh mint from Davey. And then my friend, he brought some beautiful Meyer lemons from Chico, California. So I took the Meyer lemon and put it on the rim, and then dipped the rim in sugar, raw cane sugar, and then I squeezed some of that Meyer lemon in there, and it's helping. But this drink, it has that artificial taste. But I'll be drinking it because my son just went back to his dad. And I love my son so much. But going back to what I was saying, Mercury retrograde. I just found myself having the reminder of, I've been feeling my patience being like this. And when Davey was younger, I used to just say it's because I have such short patience because I have I have a child that demands a lot, and children demand a lot, And no matter what age, but especially when they're younger, I imagine. Davy's not been older yet, so I don't know. But I know that I, though, was... As I see myself going through this with Davy, I can recall now what I was like to my mother. Not at the age of 4, of how I was, but even as just a young girl. Mommy, look! Mommy, look! Mommy, look! And oh my God! I just... Now, how I am without Davies of me. I love him so much. I swear, I really do. Cheers to all the homie moms out there. All the homie parents. All the homie children. All the homies. Again, bringing it back to Mercury Retrograde. Mercury Retrograde does this too, and going direct. You have like a weird time talking, and your thought process is blah. Maybe I should have come more prepared into this, but this is an organic channel, and you get to experience true retrograde patterns in me. You're going to experience my transformation and growth. Anyways, I felt like he was testing my patience for these past 2 days. But then I kept remembering, no, Grace. He's not the one testing your patience. Yes, he's a little soul teacher to you, but he's not the one testing your patience. It's you needing to assess how you are leading your life right now. What is it that you have done in terms of your schedule, your organization, your needs, and what do you realistically need now? You know, Davy's gonna be 5 in March. He'll be entering kindergarten at the end of the year. But until then, you know, I've not really planned out what I'm going to be doing with him because his needs are changing, and he loves to play all day. Children love to play, but Davy loves to play, and he loves to have buddies to play with. He's a very social, collaborative little child. Because he has learned, you know, what it's like to live in 2 households and to have, at least when he's with me is all I know. When he's with me, there's a lot of time where we're at home. I take him outside. I'm adamant about that children and adults too, but children really need to be outside, and for at least several hours a day, like 4 hours minimum. But there's some days, of course, I can't do that. I find myself not being able to do that because I've run out of steam, or I've run out of fuel. And those are the days where my patience is like this, and I've run out of fuel because I'm still trying to figure out how to create a childcare situation for Davy. It's not realistic for an adult to watch a child all day, or nor a whole bunch of children all day, and then you're just around children all day and you never get a moment to yourself to just be you, to recharge. Again, children are really demanding, so it's understandable that it's a hard job, or it's an intense job, but it can be less frustrating and more one that is not just where you can handle it, but you also are like, you're not dreading it, I guess, or you're not like, when are they gonna nap, or I just gotta put them in the bath. And of course there'll be days like that because we're human, but I feel like the Mercury retrograde time now for this past several weeks has brought to the forefront to me again, and I had forgotten it, that I need to create some lifelines out for Davy and for myself. When I had him in daycare for a couple months at the end of last year, when I was able to afford it, I told that daycare teacher every day, thank you so much for being here and watching my child, because it's improving our relationship. What you do improves relationships for children and their parents, because parents need a break, and to be honest, children need a break from their parents too. Parents are really boring a lot of times. Even if we're really fun, kids are way more fun to play with than adults and parents to children. And just like I don't like playing kids' games all the time. They bore me so much. I love watching children play their games, and I think it's so adorable and delightful. But for God's sake, I hate, or not hate, that's a strong word. I really dislike and loathe playing children's games. And I don't believe in the concept of children, that adults need to be children's playmates. I think that adults, I like the concept more of that. Adults need to ensure that their children have a fun life. And in order to do that, it's not supposed to be that I'm the one playing with my kid the whole time at the park, or I'm the one who's always having to entertain my child. No way. And I don't think that sets them up for success. Because children need to learn all different kinds of parts of the world that they inhabit all day. Part of the day is with mom when, you know what, I have to wash dishes or I have to work. Or there's times where it's quiet time. And then there's some times where I am playful. But I always remind him, I can only be playful, Davy, if I get done what I need to do, or we rest and I recharge myself and you recharge yourself. And then, you know, and of course, being playful is also a very wonderful bonding thing to do. Part of why I've loved staying home with Davy and why I work so much to try and find creative ways to stay at home, even though I've been single, and again, on and off single. I've been dating for the past several years and have had some really, deep relationships after my marriage. And some long-term, or one long-term relationship, and another one that is, now a friendship, but was romantic, and having that other adult around was wonderful, and it really changed the game for me, or not the game, maybe game, of life. Dating's not a game. But the game of life. And having someone there to help with watching my child, and play with them. And, I date men, though I'm not opposed to possibly dating women one day, if it ever comes up. But the men I've dated, they also have a very different energy that they were able to bring to the table for Davy. And they're much more playful than I am. And they had fun with that. And I think, as long as an adult's having fun too, of course you play with your children, or children that mean something to you. It's not like it's off limits, or you're endangering the children's maturity and growth in life by doing that. But again, there has to be a balance. Because even the men, they would tire out after some time, understandably. So anyways, I'm at a point, and it's funny that it comes today, where I blew up at Davy because I was tired. I've been watching him 2 days straight, and because Davy and I were sick over the weekend, getting relief was just a little bit from an outside source was a little bit trickier to find, so it was just kind of me. So I needed to get creative with what am I going to do with Davey and I, so that we don't get on each other's nerves and get tired of each other's BS. And, oh God, that drink. But the sugar's nice. But, what was I saying? So we spent like 4 hours at the park yesterday, and I took that time to recharge. And so I brought a book with me. I never read books anymore, because I don't make time for books anymore. And I'm like, you know what? I need to make time for myself. I can feel myself getting edgy with Davy. That means I need to take care of myself. And that means also Davy's needing an outlet. And so when we went to the park, it was just beautiful and amazing. Today was one of those days where we just couldn't go to the park because I needed to take care of stuff at home. And, you know, we have to be realistic, too. We have our things to take care of. We can't just be at the park every day, all day. Unless, you know, you don't have other things to take care of and you truly enjoy it, then yeah, do it. But I had stuff to take care of today. And so, but I found that because Davey didn't have a child playmate or some other playmate, he was starting to get like, and this Aries energy that he has, he gets really spazzy and he talks and chatters a lot. And then he starts becoming really defiant when he starts getting tired. So defiant. And it can be exhausting to someone who's already exhausted. And so I sent Davey outside to play, and fortunately where I live, it's a nice little safe spot in front where he can be outside in the sun, play in the dirt, and we're kind of in a little community, so I just, you know, I can keep my ear out for him, and I can tend to the stuff in the house while he's outside, and that worked well, but I still found myself feeling way too edgy even when he came back in, and, you know, now coming onto this transition into Mercury Direct, it's like the clarity's coming more again, like the fogginess is leaving my brain, and I'm being able to feel out my guts and my intuition and my thoughts clear again of, okay, Grace, action plans now because you and Davey need this. So, you know, thinking about getting him into daycare again. What am I going to do to afford that? What am I going to do to make sure that I actually have a business plan now that I'm trying out this YouTube and I'm doing my PoshMark? Here's my little mannequin that I love, a gift from a friend to help me get my business going. And then I've got my legs over there. Wait. With some pants ready on her, and just thinking about, you know, what can I do to set myself up for success too, so I'm also not in the back of my mind stressing out about what is my schedule, what is my my financial plan moving forward, because it still stresses me out a lot. I'm in a transition part of my life again of trying to create stability for myself, but you know, to be candid, right now I still find myself in a really tricky financial situation. You know, I'm on food stamps still, but yet I don't qualify for welfare cash benefits because I made the mistake of letting the welfare office know, or the human resources or human services department know that I was doing babysitting once a weekend, and I was making $600, no, $300 a month doing that, but it moved up to kind of almost 400, between 300 and 400 a month. And that was it, is all I told them that I have as income plus my child support, and my child support was $200 a month. Now it's going to turn into $100 a month. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but and they said that I make too much money to qualify for any benefits. And my mind was blown. But it was this sign from the universe, from spirit, from me. Grace, this isn't the life you want anymore. You don't want to have to convince these people of, you know, how you need scraps or crumbs still. And I mean, I am so grateful for having had food stamps all this time because it has provided food on the table. And at the same time, it's been nerve-wracking to live like this and to have such little support. And all because I've been trying to very stubbornly, but in my heart, this is what I wanted to do, is stay at home with Davey, regardless of divorcing from his dad. And I don't regret any of this time of my life, even though it's been filled with a lot of financial struggle, and a lot of crying, a lot of upset. And I am figuring out, too, how to not be so stressed with the way I live, this unconventional way I live. Many people have wondered and pushed for me to consider getting a traditional job. And, there was a point where I did do that. But then my back went out. And I couldn't go to work. And then I got norovirus and I couldn't go back to work. And it was like my body just kept telling me, Grace, there's another direction for you. And you're not following your inner voice, your inner self, your path, going in this direction. You know this isn't for you. You know this is not what you want. And it wasn't what I wanted. And I know that it's not the easiest, sometimes following your heart. And especially when you have other people around you, many other people who don't believe in you. But then you do start trying your best to surround yourself with people who do. Sometimes it can only be people that you find on YouTube and you don't even know them. It's just people you follow. Sometimes it's people, and for me, I follow tarot readers and astrology experts, people who are really esoteric, or even people who are not into that at all, but they are YouTubers and they're PoshMark resellers, eBay resellers, and they've made an entrepreneurial business work for them. And I try to follow people who try to talk about the hard stuff that they go through figuring this all out, and also the wonderful stuff. I try to move forward with now this newfound spirituality I've had for the past several years, because I find all these uncanny synchronicities every single day. And I believe in that. I have a faith finally, which blows my mind, because for the first, oh God, how old am I? I'm 32. I'm a 32-year-old lady, as Jenna Marbles would say. I think she's 33 now, though. Let me get my train of thought again with some liquid inspiration. God damn it. I don't know what I'm saying. Whatever it was. When I find myself being encountered with doubt, or actual people like doubting me or worrying for me, I've been practicing a lot over the past several years, and especially with the help of my therapy. Oh, I am so grateful for my therapist. I have been able to learn how to observe people now and their reactions to the way I lead my life, versus take it personally and as a criticism of that I'm nuts, I'm crazy, or I'm reckless. No one's ever said that to me, at least that I can recall. But more, the people have been worried about my choices, and wondering why I'm not doing this instead of this, the more conventional, safe route. But that route has always brought me this feeling of unfulfillment. Is that a word? I don't know, but it is now, if it's not. Yeah, this is what I'm doing, and I like it a lot. But yeah, I'm still figuring out, I'm ironing out the wrinkles, as an old friend used to say to me, and that really helps bring perspective into me. I'm still ironing out some wrinkles in my life, and I'm figuring out, and you don't figure everything out in one night. You don't figure everything out in 1 year. It takes, I think, a lifetime to figure things out, or several lifetimes. And I'm quite aware that I need that time, and I need to be respectful of that time. And other people who feel doubt towards me or worry, it's because they have their own worries and anxieties to learn about and challenge themselves with, or that they get challenged by every day when they want to be their more authentic self. There's no one right way of doing things, and things definitely can feel harder or more difficult doing it in another way. Oh my god, this videotape, this has been 25 minutes, so I'm gonna end this, talk about more another time. But yeah, Godspeed to you all with this ending of Mercury retrograde, going into Mercury Direct. It's really a beautiful time. Embrace it, because it's a great way to see what habits you hold on to, what things about your personality you still hold on to that you didn't really realize. And it bring these experiences, like these hard moments that happen, all these blunders in your day, or miscommunications. It's not because things are happening to you and why. It's a way for you to get to have the chance to have a mirror held up to you. And so do yourself the favor of looking into that mirror and seeing, oh, I still am holding on to this stuff about that really doesn't serve me anymore. Be gentle with yourself. That would be a nice way to end the videos. Be gentle with yourself. And always offer yourself love and kindness, and the same to others. Offer others love and kindness, and you can be gentle with them too. It doesn't mean you have to forgive stupidities. But it can mean that you don't have to take what other people say personally. You can observe. Easier said than done, but over time it really does get easier to observe. I'm living proof of that, because I was, and I still am, pretty sensitive, but I was the most sensitive of people and took everything very seriously, very personally. And at times I do get triggered, of course, but I'm learning. But I've been practicing a lot of mindfulness and growth, and therapy's been great, spirituality has been great, and yeah. So anyways, take care. Be gentle with yourself. Bye.